So we're gonna roll it into the next question from here.
Brrr.
But
That's my drum.
next, there we go. Thank you, girl. Until we get us a beat machine, huh?
We gotta get a gong. We gotta get some fans. We
Something,
make a
right?
list.
There you go. Listen, yes. So this one kind of rolls into the Q and Shelby. And on our last episode, if everybody remembers, the last question I asked was like to roll into this episode. I didn't want to give too much away then, but the last question about that we talked about on the last episode about if you would accept a person who gave up, or if you gave up, would you accept the person that you gave up on because they finally saw you, right?
Right.
This is about these two who experiences this in the show. But the question today is, would you ever go to someone's wedding and profess your love for them? Okay. And the flip side, the next question that's an add-on to this is, how would you handle the situation if you were the person getting married? And how would you handle the situation if it was you? If it was you that was so in love and you was like, hey, I gotta say this because it's the last moment I got before God creases this relationship. Yeah, go ahead.
Because it sounds crazy because I done seen this particular situation on 3 different shows.
Yes.
You know what I'm
And a lot of these little videos that have been coming out of these, I've noticed that a lot of these young men are making these videos about crashing people weddings because now you so in love with this girl because she done found, huh?
That's a thing.
It's
Yeah.
not. It might be a thing, but I've noticed it happening more and more recently because I know that we have this genre flex. There is no real R&B, so it's a lot of that mixed conversation and a lot of rap to R&B stuff. But a lot of these different little songs is about how these dudes is pulling up to a wedding and waiting till the preacher say what he got to say and coming in.
Because that was it.
And the girl run off. It's like, oh, you
Young Blue, your mind still.
Young Blue, yeah.
That video was definitely, and I don't know if y'all watch Harlem, but Harlem.
I love her.
Girl.
Oh boy, I gotta get on that second season. But oh boy, who was getting married?
You do, girl. Oh, because Angie is my spirit animal, and I love her. Shut up.
Isn't she? Yes.
Oh, I love her.
But yeah,
it's
like
just, wow. I can't say outside of all the things in Shelby's defense.
Go ahead, give it to Shelby. Thank you.
It was still it was leading up to the wedding. Shorty didn't pull up to the ceremony like, wait. But
she acted a fool when he even proposed the engagement.
Yeah, so
he went to his job and whooped his
She flipped out. That was funny.
She went to that job and beat him up.
And that's why I'm saying I don't think she ever really gave up. Like, yeah, you might have accepted defeat right then in that moment, but it was still fresh, girl. Like, you in the airport and you're really still like processing all of this. You're running it through your head. Like, like we said, she is not a person who accepts defeat. That's not her MO. So that's why I said, honestly, she probably legit sit in the airport like, yeah, this might be it. But also, I could still do this, this, and this. I felt like that was really in her brain. And that's why she pushed it and made that man do what he did. Like,
she made him confess.
Yeah,
she made him say it. Like, stop trying to show me. Exactly. But just say it because you swear you've been saying it, but you haven't.
Exactly. She's like, I don't know what you mean.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Can you hear us? I'm gonna tell you the truth. In her position, if it was me, if I was in that hotel, in that airport, I'd have been done. I'd have had to be. You back? If I would have got to that airport, because I believe everything's mine, so I could see Shelby. I'm probably more spirit animal of all the women on the show would be Shelby because I'm about getting to my money. But when I love you so much. But when you embarrass me, and even though he didn't know what his fiance has said to her and done, but you did send your best friend, who's also my mutual friend, to tell me I had to leave. Like I think that's where it got too far, because they all knew that they had been messing around since that wedding in 1999.
But also, it's
Mm-hmm.
context clues because
Yeah,
we did not see. Did he
mm-hmm.
really send Harper, or was Harper like, okay, dang, he
I need
did
to fix
ask
this.
me, he did tell
Mm-hmm.
me to keep Shorty at bay, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been messing up. She done
You
pulled up to the
can't keep
bachelor party.
Shelby.
Yeah, you can't. No, nobody say Shelby, but Shelby.
Ain't no
Okay.
El Bay.
Period. So, or did Harper really
Mia.
feel guilty about him slacking on the duties? You know what I'm saying?
I think he was trying to fix it.
Yeah.
I do, but it still was. You
Harper
put
just be
it
fucking
was.
all the way
It
around.
was a push. I think
Just
it's
be
because
fucking up.
the key is, a lot of times, if when we notice when he's messing up, it's always about other people trying to micromanage the perception of how people see him and things like that, right? I think he was just being his best friend at the end of the day.
Okay.
If you came to me and this man showed up to your wedding, first of all, you can't control no adult. I don't care who you are. It didn't even have to be the Shelby. It could have been a merch like character. Let's be clear. If
Much like
they show up, because he's the more docile, friendlier character. But when
Yeah.
you get to that point where you showing up to tear apart somebody's happy, that's really where you are on the inside. There is no arguing that point. I'm here to destroy everything to get to what I want, right?
Thanks.
And I just felt like he was just trying to be the friend and say, hey, it's Bernie. Let it go. This man finna get married. He not even listening to us as his friends. Because Q was in a different space. Q wasn't listening to his friends. They all thought it was odd he was getting married.
The
And
in
they,
two
her,
main
but
ones.
in her defense, though, in
Mhm.
Shelby's defense, pillow talk is something else.
Of course.
Nobody knows.
Yes.
Like, this has been going on for years. So
Yes.
in her head, it's been a game. This wasn't
Mhm.
something. Oh, I just gotta come harder. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
She knew Q to a different degree. Like, they
Mhm.
really got some. So it definitely did. The embarrassing part is the part that
That
was
part.
over. But
Right on
she
over.
really come to F up
Mhm.
his stuff, because at the end of the day, that's a game that they play all the time, and it was accepted up in. You get what I'm saying? So did she really come to?
Listen. I love me some
About
Shelby,
to say,
girl.
yeah,
But
that
when you get to the wedding, when God is involved and you saying I'ma stand in the way.
But did she really intentionally come to her? It's for her. It's like, okay, now I'm in another cat fight behind this. His friend, that's really her lover, you know.
Yeah.
But that was something they went back and forth for. So I think for me, in the sense like that embarrassing part, that was that would have. That was a defeat moment for her. You see what I'm saying?
That's
But on
how I
top,
felt
she didn't
about it.
care about the rest of that stuff. Like, that's their game that they
Yeah,
play.
she was there to win.
But
That's
you
why I
see
said
how
I
he
think,
quickly got that together when she tapped out. Like, you know what?
because he did not know how to live in his world without
Without
her. Like
her.
he said, you not just gonna be popping up. How do I live like that? Right.
He don't
And
know.
that's my problem. Why is it right now we standing in this airport? I am done with this. I have given up because you have let more people embarrass me, and then you stood in front of America and put this on TV to embarrass me. Love or not, 15 years, 17 years or not, you threw me under the bus, and then you let everybody else throw me under the bus. And now you here professing your love. What does that mean? Because you're doing it in front of all these people we don't know.
But I think that was a good point what you said about Harper though. Did
Mhm.
he really did he send him at that moment? You know what I'm saying? He was trying to fix it. But then
Yeah.
again, in Shelby's defense or in Q's defense or whatever, you remember when she approached him before they went to go get in the year 4 state, and he was like, how do I know you? You don't let me see the real you. That's been going on umpteen times or you know. So she
There's the
going out the
same
door
man
her.
who chased her down because he didn't see anything different. You knew who she was. You been knew who she was. That's why you liked the relationship. What had happened was you wanted this woman to be the type of vulnerable that you wanted her to be with you. And because she never did that, it wasn't okay. But you didn't say that. 15 years of having sex, you never said you're not vulnerable enough for us to be together.
But then he made a comment because that's what they were talking about. I see you or something. Something he said. I don't know. It was something.
Her hurt. Yeah, he said. Yeah, he could see through all of her facade of being, being so strong and, fighting about everything, it was only because, like, of something else. He could see that.
I don't think she's a person to stop and she gonna go after what she wants. I don't find a problem with that. But it was because I didn't take it to, she just there to F it up. For them two, their relationship weirdness, they're like, they match because they like those games. That was something that they did, And if he had really had feelings for what they call it, unicorn girl or whatever.
I don't know. I can't look. I know her real name is Nicole Ari Parker.
It should have been a conversation if that was the case. And deep down, he still wanted her to come. I think the embarrassment, you gonna let everybody shit on me, and I know what we got going on. That would have been like, that would have been the hard comeback.
I think that's why she gave up at the end.
He got on his both knees, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he didn't have a choice. He needed to do that and more.
Right hand to the man.
I'd have got on that plane.
I'd have got on that plane. I need you to get on TV. The way you embarrass me, I need you to fix it that way.
Yeah. It was still fresh. I feel like I would have been Shelby and would have took that man. It was still fresh.
Because you finally got what you wanted, right? Because you finally got it.
Again, I'm still processing my emotions for real. Like, I might have accepted it for her in that moment. But hold on, this man that came to the airport now, girl, and he trying to stop me. Hold on.
I hope I'm at the airport with you, Lex, so I can remind you about all the other.
And baby, she still reminds me.
Because that's what's playing in my head. Oh, you don't remember 15 minutes ago when our girl pulled up on you and told you about how she knew that y'all was having sex in the hotel because he came back to tell her.
I take that back. I don't even know if he told
her. He came back.
He just know. She just know the dude she married.
He said, Q's not coming. He sent me. I think he said that.
Yeah.
That's what makes it work.
Yeah. No, Q did send Harper because Q kept telling Harper, you need to send her away.
He had to send Harper because she gave a text message. How would he have known if the text message didn't come? Go tell her I can't come. So
that's what I'm saying. He sent Harper.
Yeah.
Okay. He said, instead of being a grown man and going to tell this woman, hey, I can't do this. This is what I'm choosing to do. I think that's why she said, let me go get on this airplane because you're sending everybody here. So when we in private,
he couldn't go do it because he know he still wanted her though.
That's why he couldn't do it. But the key is, that's it.
He was too weak.
I don't want you to show up at the end. So I hope I'm with y'all when
that is key.
Happens.
No, straight up, that is key. Because if that's really what it was, like you done sent Harper and Shorty to come tell me.
Well, he ain't sent no girl. He didn't send her.
So where did she come from?
She know. She watching. You would be watching.
Ayahuasca.
You would be watching.
She protecting the business investment that she's making in her husband, not the love. And I think from the first time we talked about this, my position on it has changed thinking about how the episode played out. How I would handle it in my personal life is not how I would handle it if I was Shelby in this scenario, because given this scenario, I would take Q back as Shelby. Because I think Q thought, I'm getting married. It's a business dynamic. We'll still have the fun we've always had because Shelby and Q, we're still getting it in when Shelby was married to whoever Shelby was married to. So
his wedding.
And at the wedding. Why wouldn't that be the same when the shoe's on the other foot? Now, I feel like something snapped inside of Shelby, like, dang, I really want this man when she found out, which is the emotional side for her made it different because she knew she didn't care about those dudes she was marrying. She was trying to,
it was when she pulled up to the job for me.
Have the dynamic life she was looking for, and then the man she loved was always on the side. The father of her child was always on the side.
That we find out as, boy, that was the smoothest way to tell a man you had a baby with him.
After we married.
after the whole little girl called you uncle and everything, girl.
That part too.
But
I think he took it because he knew. He always assumed.
I think that's why he didn't believe her at first when she showed up and was showing out. Like, you just want attention. You're doing it because you want attention.
Yes, from me.
And he thought, like, okay, you're gonna have your tantrum. and then we'll go back to doing what we always do. Because I'm making this business investment marriage that makes my dad happy, not me, but him, and we'll live how we want to live. And when he saw she was gonna walk away, I think that's when it clicked for him. Like,
oh, she's
not
serious.
gonna work. I won't be able to have what I had, and I want her.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
We're not gonna be able to keep our side dynamic going on because
you don't want
really
that.
not gonna tolerate this.
She's sick of
Listen, listen. Don't wait till I'm standing before God, because you let me pay all
in
that
real
money.
life, no, ma'am, no.
I'm not marrying you. Fool.
It's different. Yeah, it's different strokes for
I
different
don't
folks.
even know. I'm gonna lie to y'all. I don't even know. I think I would just sit at home and cry. Let me tell y'all why. I would have all y'all over there. We'd all be sitting and we'd be drinking Scotch and Jack Daniels all day and night. But
mixed
at
together.
that point, mixed together. You understand? With coffee all day and night. Okay. But I say that only because I think at the point when you decide to announce another woman after all these years, you've never put me in the light. Our friends know about us because they're our friends. They watching us. They can see it. They know what's going on. Y'all done told everything, but you stood in front of the world and announced this woman, business or not. You gave her way more importance than me. You made her stand in a space that now, no matter, but I just think that people, and maybe this is personal for me, because there's two people in my life and in my world who revolve in my world throughout my life since I was 18 years old. And that's been 17, 18 years ago. Okay. So for 17 or 18 years, if you revolve in my life all that time, I had one friend who did get married, really got married. I was not invited. It was a situation. And he had to call me and have that conversation. But he did not throw me under the bus with that. He didn't leave me out to the world to look like a crazy person, because a lot of people knew our dynamic, right? When it was time to have the conversation, he manned up. You could love me all you want to, but are you in love with me or are you in love with her? Because when you say what that is, I have to set my boundary then. And our boundary became, we're going to keep this clean and we're going to maintain our friendship and we're going to stay away from each other. We're not even going to allow for anything to come in between our relationship as friends, because you chose her. You didn't choose me. It doesn't take away the fact that you care about me, but you didn't choose me. So why would I chase you? Why am I going to chase you down when you've made your choice? And I got another homeboy who's been like a revolving thing like that as well. And in context, same thing. Like, if you don't choose me, then that's fine. We maintain our friendship. But I'm not showing up to your wedding to let you know that for all these years I've always loved you. I would feel like a horrible person. So I would have to sit and cry about that. I would have to like let that energy out. And people are gonna say, "Oh, you should go for what you want," but I should have did that beforehand. In context, I should have been trying to lock this situation down. And if it was unable to be locked down before, why am I trying to do it right now?
Yeah.
Why am I walking into this other woman's world and destroying her world, saying that I want the same thing? How dare I? Go ahead, Lo.
I was just gonna say, I see it as disrespect all the way around, because if somebody feels comfortable enough to show up to my wedding to profess their love for me, I was in some way entertaining that the entire time. And when I'm with somebody, I am with them. Unless our relationship has a agreement of polyamory or non-monogamy or an open dynamic, I'm not entertaining someone to the degree that they would even be willing to show up to my wedding.
But I have a question then. Would you be mad at that other person if you do have this open relationship and y'all are discussing and really getting to the nitty gritty and that person show up?
I mean, if somebody shows up to my wedding professing their love for my to-be spouse at this wedding, and we don't already know that this is a possibility because this person is stepping out of line regularly, and this is something we discuss in our relationship, me as the other person, I'm likely to leave the wedding because I don't trust anything that has been going on between y'all for them to show up here on this day. And I don't know that there's anything you can say to me to convince me otherwise. Because they felt comfortable enough to show up. I was blindsided. And unless you just obliterate this person in front of everybody, to the degree, I mean, even then, I'm still probably not going to believe you. I have a problem. Because stuff was being entertained that should not be entertained for this to happen. And that's why I would also, in turn, not show up to a wedding, even if I was in love with somebody, even if I was invited. I'm not going to show up and profess my love during
I'm not going either if I love you.
2 years later.
I'm not going because I don't want to sit at your wedding and cry. I'm gonna cry.
I've been at a wedding for someone that I am in love with. I was in love with, not currently. Sorry, my bad. I'm not currently in love with him. I was at the time of their wedding, but that's not my place. That's not a time. I spoke my feelings to them, and I just had to let myself process them out. But I'm not going to speak them at their wedding because I knew this was happening.
I'm not grown enough. Okay. I'm going to tell you the truth. I am not that mature.
At all.
Because I'm going to cry. I'm a snot, boogers, nasty cry, ugly face.
I mean, I had to suck them all the way back up. I had to suck them all the way back up.
Yeah, I can't hold them in. I turned 30, and after 30, you just cry. You just cry for every reason. At 35, it's like you just have waterworks when you see sad dogs on a commercial. So I sure can't make it through no wedding for somebody I love. I wouldn't subject myself to that. Personally, I wouldn't subject myself to that because I just am not in the business for doing that kind of harm to myself.
But also, is it not disrespectful for the person who's getting married? Like, my G, I got feelings for you, and you
Why would you invite me?
You did it? About to send me an invite?
Both of them knew. Girl. I helped both of them with the wedding. Everybody knew. The wife, the other wife, everybody was in the know. There was nothing in the dark. Okay, we not together anymore, but I helped with the wedding with both wives.
Baby, write a book.
Talk about the emotional trauma that I put myself through.
That part. I can't do it.
That was a lot. That was a lot for me that I had to work through later and then made bad life choices behind. I showed up the way
I was just about to ask you that.
I showed up the way I wanted to in the moment. I did what felt right in my heart, even though it was hard. But after that, picking up the pieces was not what I signed up for. That part I wasn't prepared for.
Huh? I was just going to ask you that question.
Some type of closure? Is that what you were looking for? Closure?
I will say that it did because like it's official now. Like I knew it was official coming all the way up to the wedding, but like done. Hard cold turkey cutoff. I got to cut these feelings off, right?
Yeah.
At the wedding. So afterwards, yes. But I don't know. I'm not. My emotions run really deep because of the way when I'm in a relationship, even in my real close friendships, the way I learn the people in my life ingrains them so deep into my heart and in my person. That closure, I don't really know that closure is a thing. It's kind of like it has to dissipate and fizzle out like a fire, that it just gets down to embers until it's just cold coals and ash. And then at that point, once the fire is completely burned out and cooled, everything's fine. I don't have residual stuff at that point, but the burn down of the bonfire can get fierce.
I'm sure it can. I'm sure it can. Like, girl, ain't no doubt about it. Like, that's you, Shiro of the year. It's back. Because
I would say it's reckless personal endangerment.
Because I probably would dead serious. I probably would have been a Shelby. You invited me, so that means I felt like you invited me, so I feel like you wanted me to ruin it.
I definitely listen. Hold on, Lex. That was gonna be my question. What was the after effect of going to do that? Because closure is my trigger word. That triggers me. Bro, I don't understand why you need it. Nobody.
It might be an alphabet mafia thing. I don't know, because we like to stay friends with our exes a lot of the time. That's a very common phenomena. And I was not the only ex at the wedding, but I was the most well-behaved ex at the wedding.
The expectation is y'all not gonna act right. That's why you can't come. Yeah, I listen. I don't like subjecting myself.
You wanted, at that point, whatever happens at your wedding happens, because y'all invited exes. Y'all wanted some stuff to pop, okay? You wanted the drama. You wanted the what you call it, Lo? The fire burning down to the. You wanted that. I'm gonna give you what you need.
I'm gonna show up.
No, my bonfires rage personally, not externally.
Oh, I miss all of that. I like that analogy. My bonfire.
The only person I'm burning down is me.
Nope.
All of it.
I'm hurt.
I got a phoenix from the ashes.
You understand? If I'm hurt, we all gonna feel this.
Especially if you're the one who, especially if you're the one who caused my hurt. Everybody got to die tonight.
Tonight, you understand?
Tonight.
Yes. Closure is my true trigger word, and this gonna be because it came up. Do you believe that closure is a true necessity?
I'm going last.
No, I got. Listen.
Wait, were we done with the other question?
About Shelby?
We talked about Shelby.
Yeah, and Q. That was the last question about them getting married. About
showing up to the wedding. Okay.
Yeah, okay. This is the last one for the night. Is do you truly, because that's really my trigger word. Closure is hands down I don't like it. I don't understand why people need it. I don't understand what no one expects to get from it. Truly on the inside, I don't process what it is. Like, nobody's ever been able to explain to me why you would subject yourself to that kind of torture and pain trying to have a conversation with a person you couldn't have a conversation with the first time.
I don't think it's torture. I think, so like we talked about with the emotional or logical thinking, personally speaking, in retrospect to a lot of things that I've wanted, I've been I need closure AB, okay? And I don't think I know I'm not necessarily going to get the apology that I want or need, but I really need you to be honest with me and tell me your logic. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So to help me really just say.
How many times have you got that? Because the person you broke
be
up
honest, with, I had to bring my own closure. Like I told you,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean about the torture, because the expectation is maybe if we sit down in the right kind of environment, this person won't be exactly who they were when I left them, so that they could then explain to me why this went wrong.
No,
how many times has it happened? They're gonna be who they are. They already explained to you exactly how they felt about you. Even if they didn't have the words to do it properly, that is a fact. They still showed you. Yeah. And they showed you they don't properly know how to communicate whatever it is they're feeling, good, bad, or indifferent already. So
No, I feel it.
Somebody else, come on now.
Yeah.
I think on an effed up note, in a sense, I want you to look me in my face and tell me what I already know. Ask me why, what do I get out of it? Because you didn't say it indirectly. You did some malicious SHIT stuff, and then this is what got us to the point. Or you were just being a coward, a hoe, whatever you want to call it. I want you to look me in my eye and state what you did, or like, why are we at this point? In silence. We know it ain't because of, you know what I'm saying? We know your actions led up to whatever you want to call it. I feel like, I do feel like that statement, the logic for me, if you consider that to be closure, whatever it is, then I guess it's contingent too upon the situation. Because I might not even have the words of the effed up stuff. So at this point, maybe I don't want to talk to you. I don't know. And if some time passed in between that and we never get the conversation out, that could be the piece to where, hey, I'm tapped out. What do we need to have a conversation about? So I'm on both sides in the facet. Like, it's just, am I in a mood to sit here and listen to you tell me the shenanigans and make you talk and hear your stuff in the Tom, Dick, and foolery that you did out loud? Or am I just in a place of, let me exit stage left because there is no conversation? I think it just, my emotions would fluctuate. It just, what am I feeling in that moment? So I can take the closure and I can take the, I guess, what would you call it? Non-closure. It's just, I think it's
closure. I think when you separate, that is closure. That's you saying, I'm closed on this space because we can't get it.
That's together. My own closure. I closed this book.
I closed this book. Because there's nothing that you can feed me that's going to push me forward, because our relationship has failed because of our lack of communication or our lack of whatever has happened in the relationship, right? That's why I'm always confused about it, because I'm definitely a person who, listen, when y'all start talking closure, go ahead and let me go to the bar, because I don't want to talk about it, because I don't believe in
question. It was attached to the right. What's the question?
The question was, do you believe, like,
is closure a thing in a sense? Essentially,
yes, it's closure.
Yeah, I definitely believe it's a thing. I just,
in one way or another.
I have a question. Have y'all ever received the closure that you expected?
No, that's why my block list is.
Because I remember one of with my ex. And are we associated to the movie, or are we just in general experience?
I'm talking about in real life. In real life, have you ever experienced closure?
No. You know, back in the gap, with one of my exes, it was like, well, why? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know why, but then it's like, what's up? Why? Mm-hmm. And you need something burning and aching, and you need to hear that person. Why? I don't know. And it could just be me. I don't know if y'all necessarily have that feeling sometimes. That's why I said it depends on what the emotion is, the situation. Maybe not you, but me. Yeah. I need you to look me in my eye and tell me, I don't know what it does for me, but pisses me off more. Feels that. I don't know.
I think personally, it's clarity. Like, as women, we have women's intuition. Like, we really be knowing what the F is going on. But it's like, so, you know, people like to make us feel like we tripping. Like, did he say that? Is that really what's going on? So in retrospect, it's like, okay, well, let me hear you say it. Like, is this what's really going on? Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Tell me.
Have you ever had it?
Absolutely. I'm sitting here thinking, like, in all the dudes, even in recently, like, in the dudes that I've dealt with, and I felt like it was never, like, I tried to have closure or talk through with the last dude, and it was
the same exact thing. It was the same reason.
Told me to let it go. So that's what I did. That was my closure. So that's all I needed. You told me to let it go. That was the answer to every question that I ever had.
Now I have a question for you. How many times before he said that out of his mouth did he show you to let it go?
Child, in a matter of 3 days, he showed me so much.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That's I think that's the true point of it's 11:11. That is the true point of what really confuses me, yo. It's not that I understand what people are chasing the feeling of. You hope somebody say to you what it is you need to hear. But it always confuses me when people be stuck on trying to get closure from a person you walked away from, or they walked away from you. That is the closure in my mind. Like, they left without a word, with words, cuss words, whatever happened, right? When y'all said, hey, I can't do this no more. At that point, you had all the closure you needed because you pulled all the information you had to say. Because we women at the end of the day. So we're pulling the facts of everything we've went through every single moment of this relationship. And right now we got the big book of spells open and we like, oh, this, yeah. And today you done walked in here like this. Okay, I remember on January 17th, you walked in here like this before. Yeah, I know what's going on. Like,
that's logic. You would think that. But then again, on the same token, as a woman, how dare you? Like, you feel like
you don't get you closure. Yeah, but
like, you feel like you need to get something out too, though, you know? Like I'm so indifferent because I can see it in both ways. I really, really, really can.
I've never asked a person for closure.
Are you actually asking for a closure? I don't say I need the closure. I just
go to them and question them.
We're going into the
That's asking them for closure, because what you're expecting is to get something out of this, to close this moment, because you're asking them, okay, well, tell me what happened. Why didn't this work? You didn't go ask them that so you could go to your next relationship. You went to ask them because you're not over whatever has happened between y'all two. That's asking for closure.
How dare you? Like,
I mean, but you said that anyway.
It's an indifferent. I don't know. Like, it just. I think it would depend on the situation, because I see it both. I see where some women, because I've been, you have these conversations. Some women feel like they need to go back and have these elaborate, long, detail-oriented conversations.
And you tell
whatever they're getting out of other women
who get that elaborate, deep conversation and come out of it with some closure.
Still empty in a sense.
Call me.
And I think maybe I think for me personally what pushed us, what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Why are we here? So on some real effed up stuff, I think those are some moments where you just don't have no words. And then on the next breath, you just like,
you got 300 words.
Yeah, it just.
My concern is that people will be in that space, right? They will say, like, I ain't got no words right now. And then as soon as you've taken the time to run through your whole 17 years of whatever you've been in with this person, now you have all these questions. You expect the person to be willing to sit down with you and say, well, yeah, I was wrong here, and I was wrong here, and I was wrong here, and I broke your heart. No, if they was doing all that stuff, you think they finna say all that stuff? It don't matter if you know. They're not finna sit in front of you and say, well, here's the closure you need. It was me, and it was you. And
I think it's a combination of what the experience was, what that person is currently going through, what this person is currently feeling, because that ultimately accumulates, and that ultimately is the ending result on how you handle it. Like, was it discretions or whatever, frustration or disagreements? It like y'all went a period of time, y'all were good. Then you looking back over the past, or did something just happen? I just think it's all those things accumulatively to encompass, or whatever you want to call it, to end it, and that's how you respond.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Lo. Come on. You ain't saying nothing. You over there whispering and knitting cotton. I see.
Don't bring cotton into this now.
Oh my God. No, we ain't gonna start. Okay. We're not gonna start. You just keep going.
Yo, let's show her I'm screaming.
Dead.
Oh. I think closure is an internal personal thing. I think it's something you have to offer or grant to yourself. I don't think it comes from an outside party or a conversation with somebody else. Those opportunities, those situations, I've only trying to remember right now. The only time I have tried to seek closure in a relationship, it didn't go well. And at the beginning, when it's over, you open yourself up to gaslighting and dog whistling and all of these things where the other person is kind of hurt and done, and they're saying things to further hurt and harm you, to push you away. And, if you do come back and have a really good, constructive, honest conversation at some point, yes, that feels great. Yes, you're then validated, which, lets how you're feeling sit better inside your person. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't feel good to be validated, but I think you still have to grant yourself permission for the closure, and that outside person is a liability in that process. I also think that you have to give yourself apologies for things that you went through and tolerated on behalf of the other person that you're never going to hear. Because you have to let yourself off the hook for putting up with that. or allowing yourself to be in those situations. It's the permission you grant yourself for whatever occurred. And until it sits calmly in yourself, until it no longer vibrates your energy negatively and controls you from an emotional standpoint, I don't think it's closed. And that's because you haven't worked all the way through it. That's why the wedding thing, wedding thing we were just talking about for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I knew doing that, here's the hard line, like the door is shut, mm-hmm. but I'm still personally not closed. Mm-hmm. And the person and I had very clear conversations. It's closed. Mm-hmm. Like, so it was already, everything was clean. Mm-hmm. There was no such thing. And it wasn't a closure conversation. It was like, here's the end of what we have because we're done, but mm-hmm. we still want to maintain a friendship. But I still personally have to grant myself closure of the us dating dynamic and moving into where we are just in a friend's space. And she couldn't offer that to me because I have to grant it to myself. That's how I feel about it.
You said it in all the proper words. That's it. But part of it is it. Right? Part of what I agree with all of what you said, but for me personally, part of what you said is it. I've already told myself I'm sorry. I'm already told myself I'm sorry for you, me, the side chick, the broken foot, the broken tire. I didn't already said it all to myself, because if not, I didn't leave you. I didn't already had to prep myself for the separation, and in preparation, I have to then start giving myself those I'm sorry's. Okay, it's not just you. Something's happening here, and you can't fix it by yourself. And this person don't want to fix it with you. And if that person don't want to fix it with me, that's fine. But I'm not going to wait for you to say whatever it is you got to say, because you've already showed me 100% of what the fact is. Hurt, good, bad, all of it. I don't think it's just one bad thing, but I just have never seen closure actually happen. And like you said, it come from an outside source. Because no matter what a person tells you after the fact, if it hurt your feelings the first time they experience it, it's going to hurt your feelings to hear it all over again. Which is why I say time don't heal nothing. Time allows you separation. Time allows you a space to let go of a light of the heavy feeling and get through that heavy feeling of being hurt and broken and all of those pieces. But it don't fix it. You fix it. Time doesn't. Time just passes. And in those spaces, if time is passing and I have to work on it by myself anyway, what do I need to look at you for? What are we going to talk about? Even if you come to me like later, like what are we talking about? If it's not for a positive and just growth reasons, I don't want your I'm sorry from 17 years ago. I'm past it. I don't need it. What am I going to do with it? This is about you. You need to give that I'm sorry so you can feel better about you, but you got to get that to somebody who deserves it right now, because whatever you're trying to hand me, it's nothing I can do with that. And you're not going to get off the hook by trying to make me accept whatever it is that you need now, because I'm not here for that. I'm not here to validate you or make you feel better. And that's why I truly don't think that closure from an outside source is real, because the person who hurt you feel like they was right. They felt that when they was doing it. Right. Even if it was unintentional, they still feel like they're right. So I'm not going to stay in here and validate you because you having an emotional breakdown.
But look how many years it took to get to that type of.
I was not with that. I was always like that.
But that type of direct logic, that could have been you. Like they could have really very much so been the person that you were. That's a direct logic that many people cannot grasp onto. Period. It's that it can be that simple. But when you're in the midst of it, you've been the hurt person behind it, and then you leave out of it like, why I'm the one being. You get you operate.
I feel what you're saying.
You ride it back and you start operating in emotions. No, tell me why. What's up, right?
And you ain't gonna get
unreasonable.
Yeah, that's the emotion.
You go through a lot of different emotions, and then when you step, that's why they say don't act in emotions. You need to be able to engage and be logical in it. You step back and you look at the situation. There was really no conversation because you showed me, but you see what I'm saying? And when you're in the midst of acting and when you're in an emotional state like that and some stuff has happened or transpired, that's a direct logic and factual thing right there. Like that's
trust
not
me. I argue a person I know down directly over and over because this person keep trying to convince me that there is some form of logic that comes from this particular person having this conversation about what she wants. And I'm just like, you can wait until Jesus comes, sweetheart, and he gonna give you that same lie he been giving you, and you gonna suck it up like you've been doing. And I hate it for you because there is no form of there is that person ain't gonna give you nothing if you can't see it. Even if they say, hey, you were the best thing I ever met, then you're gonna say, well, why won't you be with me? Why won't you stay with me then? Why didn't this work? I think we should try again. You're not listening. Just because you were good doesn't mean you were good for me. We've established that already. So why are we having this conversation again? That's why we're not together. So I super understand that for sure. It's in the world, it's of the world, and I know plenty of people who believe that there is a form of closure that you can force another adult to give you something that you need. In real life, you're the one who need it. So you're the one who has to get it. You have to give it to yourself. You have to go out and figure out how to change it, how to fix you, because that other person ain't giving you nothing. Nothing.
I mean, okay, so wait a minute. This whole time, that's what we're talking about, though, right? What do you need in the form of your type of closure? Not what they need.
Like does closure need. But that's the key. All the time, it's only about you. That's why people are saying they need closure. It's about you. I need closure. The other person didn't say they need a closure. You're trying to force another person to give you something that you need. If you need it, you got to find it. You have to fix it. You have to get it. And it ain't going to come from that other person. If it was, you would have got it when y'all broke up.
Okay, so my response is still okay. So I'm processing. So I will still respond in the way that I did as far as the emotional state of acting out of when you're in an emotional state and you just start. I need to know why, but that is still about you. But I would definitely say that as far as you gonna go home at night by yourself too, so you got to come to peace with it, regardless, because whatever answer you get. So, Lo, what did you say earlier? Like working and processing through those feelings. That's most definitely a fact. So if you're, most definitely, that's most definitely a fact. So,
that's why I'm a little flip the coin on it. I'd be like, nah, we broke up. Why we need to talk?
Look, and I feel like you're surprised I'm not here for closure because I'm so willing to talk and have a conversation.
I think that I truly believe this, Lo. I think that you are more so a person who just wants to have the conversation. It's not so much about them telling you what you did wrong to get to the closure so that you can fix it. You just want to have a conversation to keep peace. Because that's just your personality. You want to have a peace so you can be friends with your ex. Y'all ain't seen one of them. Have you seen one of them? Ain't run into an ex of mine. When we become exes, you ex to the back. If I run into you in the street, we cool.
That's your thing. I don't want to say your thing, but you're
hey, don't call me out like that.
I
only have one solid friend right now that's an ex. Okay.
Listen,
but that's not. There you go.
That's one more than me.
Now you might start a fight. You might start a fight of people I'm friends with on social media who are exes. Because
look, you know what? We all type of. What is this supposed to be? The platform?
This is a platform for peace, growth, learning.
Don't make me put them in their friend bucket.
The exes type thing, like I mean, if that's your shebang, that's your shebang, baby.
Yeah, I don't think it's nothing crazy about having an ex that's a friend. I just because I've had to say I'm sorry to myself. I'm at that point. I no longer feel a need of a presence of you in my life. If I got to tell myself I'm sorry about something you did to harm me, then what I need you for in the future? Nothing. You can't be my friend because you couldn't even make this go okay. I've had good relationships and us break up and it not be a situation We good. We're nice. We're cordial, but we ain't friends. And they understand that. And it took me a relationship to realize why, just, because we're cool when we break up, that sometimes it's hurtful to be the friend to your ex. I don't want to see you go be happy. I wanted to be with you. I don't want to see you be happy. But I know that about me. So like, if I know that about me, why am I going to even set a person up? I think that's what it is. It's like, I don't want to maintain a relationship with a person personally. And it's not because I don't think that they're a good person. It's just that I'm not going to see past the harm you did to me. And I don't want you to see past the harm I did to you. I want you to understand that you deserve better. Because I know it. That's why I don't want you. Because I know that. And it's cool that you cool, but I wasn't your friend at the beginning. So I don't have to end off as your friend. We was dating. We hope to be friends, but hey, things go good and things go bad. We try again, right? But and because I don't want to carry all that baggage with me either.
Hey, look, for the record, I don't always try, okay?
Listen. No, I don't think it's weird I don't think it's weird to have an ex as your friend. I just know the baggage that it comes with because I dated somebody who was friends with their ex, and it was a super uncomfortable thing. How hard is it to sit in a room with a person and another woman finish your man's sentences? And I've been the friend to a man who had a girlfriend, and I grew up with this man. So if we finish each other's sentences, to us that was natural. That's how we just moved through the world for 20 years because we've been knowing each other that long. But when his girlfriend felt some kind of way, I said, well, hey, we can't do that no more. Because that's who you have sex with, not me.
Because who is slobbing the knob at the end of the day?
Not me.
Hey,
fix that.
But counterpoint to that, back to our previous conversation, isn't the girlfriend in that case Robin? And you shouldn't have changed your dynamic with your friend because of her? This is how y'all interact.
If I'm the ex, out of line. Let's be clear. If I'm the ex, yes. But if I'm just friends with you, said I don't think so. But me personally, I'm gonna step out the way because there's something I can't give you that woman can, and it's not just about sex. I'm not there for your emotional padding and support every single day. She is. So you need to figure that out. I've been your friend all these years. I'm not going to stop being your friend, but I will stop making her feel uncomfortable. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm an inviting person. So if you feel uncomfortable in this dynamic, there is not a lot I can do to not make you feel like you ain't been here for 20 years. But there is something I can do to make you feel comfortable about me and this person's relationship. Understand, you said that this is something that's a boundary for you. Okay, I'm not going to step over that line. You still my friend, but this is the woman you chose. I didn't choose her. So you got to deal with this, and I just move accordingly. I stay out the way. I'm not changing it. I'm not saying we're not friends anymore. What I'm saying is you need to choose wisely. Your girl don't fit, and you made it happen, and that's your fault. So you can't come to the cookout. Because she can't come. I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But you can't come. If she don't fit, then, and I tried to make it right. No, y'all can't come. Or y'all can if you following up. But personally, I would never. I'm just not the person. I don't like standing in the way of nobody's happy and nobody's relationship and nobody's life. Not y'all's as friends, not my siblings, not no man. I don't want to be in the middle because I don't want to be the blame. That's a fact. I just don't want you to blame me. Okay, it ain't so much because I'm a good person.
Solid side eye.
I do be staying out the way. Now, I also have a very bad tendency that I believe that if I knew you first, you mine.
I don't feel like you should change your dynamic with your friend if you're not doing anything wrong.
Just because I don't feel it's wrong doesn't mean somebody else doesn't. And if that's the person you dating, that person, you're right. But I'm not going to antagonize that person.
Because that would be me antagonizing. You just being yourself.
No, that would be me antagonizing because that person has obviously made it a point to say, this thing bothers me. That's me antagonizing if I continue. Being myself, I can do that without that. I don't have to antagonize another person.
Agree.
Just because. Yeah, I feel personally listen to me. If I tell my man
I
don't like you and your girlfriend doing
your
that.
Friend in that dynamic. So agree to disagree.
Well, so, but no, because you haven't been in that dynamic. That's the thing. I would not antagonize a person's relationship, right? But I also don't have to be concerned with it. My concern about the relationship is I'm pulling myself out because I don't want to be concerned with her personal feelings and how that's going for you every day. I'm not going to antagonize because I don't want to be concerned. And I won't have to deal with it if I'm not antagonizing the situation. That's my process of thinking. If this person brings up a point, I say, hey, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stay out the way because I don't want to antagonize you in this way and make you feel any kind of way towards me. Except for the way I want you to make me
She was a solid
feel.
Robin is what I'm hearing.
Who? The girl? Yeah, she was. But her name started with a B and not R.
I'm dead. Oop. Bleep.
But anyways, on to Jesus and them. But truthfully, like I wouldn't change my friendship. Like I'm not gonna say, hey, Bree, me and your man don't get along. We can't be friends no more. I'm not gonna do that because then that's me changing the complete dynamic of our relationship. But if she say, hey, my dude don't like when we go out to that bar that you really like to go to and leave drunk because he know all these men bought y'all drinks because you don't pay for them. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, your ass better not tell him next time you go home that you was out with me. Or if you go tell him you can't come out with me no more.
We can't go there.
You gotta go home. You gotta see you home.
There.
Because I don't want to intact. Because let's be like y'all, like we were talking earlier, right? Family, friends, they have a way of tugging and pulling on the emotional hold that they have over you as that solid person who's been there before this dating person that you're with right now. Even if y'all get married, I've been your friend all your life. That person got however many days y'all in this marriage. But I've been there before them and I'm going to be there after them. So I'm not going to stand in the way. And I'm not going to apply pressure to your relationship because that could end our relationship for real. Because when you're not in that relationship no more and you thinking about it and you need all this closure, for all y'all closure people, all you're thinking is, who helped me mess this up? And then you turn and you start looking at them and yelling and being upset because you can only cry so much. You can only be sick to your stomach so long. You can only sit in that house and go through the emotions so long. Then you start looking at who can you, that's what closure is about. Who can I point the finger at?
I think that I've elevated to a place, friendships, relationships to this point in my life to where, I mean, we talked about the last episode. I just don't, I will when it's necessary. I don't like apologizing. That's a part of my personality. Therefore, I'm going to I'm going to make sure I approach every situation in the right way. Because when I say, or I exit stage left, I move around, I don't mess with a person no more. Aaron wasn't in the wrong when this happened. You get what I'm saying? I had every reason and right to. I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you an apology. No. So making sure, and I mean, I'm not too good to say, or I'm not that, I don't have an arrogance on me to where I won't acknowledge we're all human. An apology. I will issue an apology if need be, but I try my best to approach a situation in the appropriate right way, so I don't have to.
You do all that extra work, so you don't have to do the extra work. That's what I mean when I say that. Like, I'm not gonna antagonize.
Go do you.
Yeah, be happy. Go do your thing.
Go be great. There you
go. Because either we gonna be friends or we not. But you pick that person, and I'm not standing in the space. I'm not gonna be in the way. You picked them, not me. And when I pick them, you're gonna have to go on over to the corner because everybody know when I get a man, especially my guy friends, they know when I get a man, you have to be properly introduced. Y'all have to have a common space of this world because I'm that common space. But y'all ain't got to be friends. That ain't my business. I didn't start dating him to make him your friend. You my friend. Y'all don't even need to be cool because when I leave him, we leave him. Did you hear what I said? We together because you're my friend. I don't want y'all to be cool. And yes, I know, but I've told you before, Lo. Y'all have shook my moral compass in life a little bit. You women that I know, y'all know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Because that's generally how I feel. When we break up, we all broke up with you. Mama, cousin, nieces, nephews. You have a family and you have friends. Go over there with them. Don't take mine. I worked hard for these. They were mine first. I told y'all I got possession issues. They were mine first. That's what happens when you're the firstborn. You have possession issues.
Is that what it is?
Is that what I was about to say? Is that what it is?
Absolutely.
Is that what we call it?
Listen. Everything is mine. I loved it. It's mine.
Because I'm the baby, and my older sister is.
She be on your neck, huh? What you doing? Why you doing it? You need to fix your life.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Why is my baby not living the best life like she's supposed to be doing? That's yes.
I'm out here trying to leave, girl. Look,
well, thank you, ladies, for having our calm and peaceful, fun. Always growth promoting conversations tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Like, subscribe. One of us you gonna like at the end of the day. It don't have to be me. Trust me, I got enough friends. But everybody, come back, join in with us. If you ain't got no friends, we here. Give you positive words, help you grow through things, and to help you see that everything in this world happens just the way it's supposed to. So, ladies, I want to say thank y'all again for tonight. Y'all have a great night. I'm sending y'all love, light, and happiness while I go lay on the couch and cry. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo. Good night.
Good night. Listen, I told you I should have sent my cup to the bartender.
We know for next time. Pull the bottle and the mixers to you.
That's it.